Coming up, when we talk about Tron 3, and also there's going to be a new Doctor Who companion. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at disneyplus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off talking first off about Doctor Who, because in May we're going to be getting a brand new season. It'll be arriving on the BBC here in the UK and on Disney Plus around the world. We've already had a sneak peek with a special episode that dropped on Christmas Day, and we're going to see Ncuti Gatwa take over as the new Doctor, and he's going to have a brand new companion, Ruby, who is played by Millie Gibson. However, this is not going to be a long-term partnership, because over the weekend it was revealed by The Mirror that Millie Gibson is leaving during the second season. She is going to be heading off and doing some other jobs. She kind of did an interview recently where she spoke about, with all the strikes over, she was going to be doing some auditions and stuff. But yeah, so apparently she's only going to be in a few episodes and is no longer going to be in it. It's going to be replaced with a brand new companion, who is going to be played by Varada, Seethu, who you might know from Star Wars Andor. She's also starred in the Sky original series Strike Back. She's also starred in Jurassic World Dominion and Now You See Me Too. She's definitely got some form of being in Andor, and yeah, it's going to be interesting how all this comes together. Now, there's a couple of things to take into consideration with Millie leaving. Now, I do think this is unfortunate that this has come out before we've even got the first season out there, because it's kind of going to make people disconnect a little bit. I know it's a little bit like that for me, where I'm thinking, this is not good. This is, we're hard to make a connection with her if you know that she's going to be leaving, and you don't normally get that. This is the thing with them kind of filming so far in advance and getting ready. Yes, apparently she's been spotted on sets, and now there's a whole load of stuff that's been going on over the weekend with Millie's leaving, of whether or not there was other reasons for this, and lots of it is rumours, and none of it has been officially confirmed. It could have been always in the place. Not every companion is stuck around for season after season. Some of them have they do one season and they go. I think like Martha was one that recently happened. So it's not uncommon, and sometimes they just want to get the stories and stuff moving along. But I do think this is a disappointment from this point of view. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting Ncuti to stick around too much around for too long either. If they get the 2 seasons out of him, good. I mean, if they can get to 3 or 4, I think that would be a nice spot. But yeah, generally this is the thing with these shows, is they keep changing, they keep moving around. Nothing stays the same except for the TARDIS, and even that changes. But yeah, so I think this is interesting. I think it would have been nice to have had this maybe come out after the first season had come out, so maybe people are a bit more connected to it. Now it kind of just puts a little bit of like an edge on it. We don't really know how this is all going to work. But let us know, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that Millie's going to be leaving? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about the next Tron film, which is currently called either Tron 3 or it's going to be called Tron Ares. I mean, these things can change a little bit with working titles. This film has been in development for a long time, years and years and years. Jared Leto is going to be starring in it, and it's basically going to see a computer program coming to life in the real world, rather than the other way around, where in the previous films, humans have been going into the computer world. Yeah, so it's interesting to see how all this comes together. Filming was originally set to start last summer, but because of the actors and the writer strikes, everything kind of got stopped, and so they never got going. But now over the weekend, the director has confirmed on social media that filming has now started, and now it's not going to be too long until we get to see it. Now, obviously, these kind of films, they have to film it, and then they have to do all the post-production, and especially something with Tron, a lot of visual effects. This is going to take a while to do. So, I mean, in theory, they could get out next year, but yeah, expect it to be a while until we see it. I am a big fan of the 2 movies, both of which you can watch on Disney Plus. I think Tron, I'm really hoping they can get Daft Punk in and do the music, because I love the music from Tron. It's so cool. They've just recently opened up a roller coaster down at Walt Disney World. A fantastic coaster. I've not been on the one at Disney World. I went on the one in Shanghai. Loved it. The music I just think it's fantastic. So it's great to see Disney continuing with this theme and continue to do stuff. Tron's a little bit of a weird franchise. It doesn't sometimes seem to work, but yeah, I am looking forward to seeing this film. We obviously don't know anything really about it, what it's going to be about really, but looking forward to it. But let us know, you're excited about Tron 3? Let us know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about a brand new film that Searchlight Pictures has acquired at the Sundance Film Festival, which is taking place this month. So they have acquired A Real Pain when they paid about $10 million for it, and they've got the worldwide rights to it, and it has been written and also directed and also stars Jesse Ellsberg, who is starring in the film alongside the recent Emmy winner Kira Culkin. They'll be playing mismatched cousins, David and Benji, who reunite for a tour of Poland to honour their grandmother, but old tensions resurface against the backdrop of the family's history, and the film will get a big theatrical release later this year. So if it's hitting cinemas later this year, we can expect to see it dropping then onto Disney Plus and Hulu around the world at some point as well after that one. Always kind of nice to see when Searchlight pick up these kind of films. I don't think as well like 10 million should be okay. Hopefully they can kind of pull that back in at the box office. I'd hope that they would do, because, you know, get people in to see cinemas and stuff. But more importantly, this will probably be a big hit when it hits on streaming. Two big stars in here. But let us know, are you interested in this film? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. In our comment today, which comes from Donovan, who says, I'm really excited for the Wizards of Waverly Place sequel series, but my question is, what are your thoughts on Echo not being successful on Disney Plus? Now, I thought this was kind of interesting because I think Echo actually has been a success. It was well watched. It was the #1 trending show. It got in at a large audience. I think the feedback from most people seems to be that they enjoyed it and they did like it. And there's been a little bit of negativity around it, which you would expect, but I would expect that with any release right now. There's always someone that doesn't like something, and that's perfectly normal. But yeah, I don't view Echo as a failure in any which way. I think they've been able to essentially salvage a project which just seemed to be not really working. There wasn't a lot of excitement for this series, and they were able to use kind of Daredevil and Kingpin to kind of prop up excitement, the TVMA stuff. I mean, they cut down the series so much from how many episodes it was, made it a little bit more tighter, dropping it all at once, getting it out on Hulu. Yeah, I think they were able to salvage this quite well and get it out there. It's not perfect, and I know, like, you know, there are some people that didn't like it and they didn't like, you know, the story and stuff with it, but I did. I thought it was fine. Whether or not it's definitely not top tier MCU. It is not a show which I'm probably ever going to go back and watch again, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, and I definitely don't view this as this was a failure. It'll be interesting to see what happens when, like, the Nielsen numbers and stuff's coming in a few weeks' time. But I do think with them dropping it all at once, that means it was able to hit. But also, more importantly, it was able to hit, and people were able to watch it, and then they've moved on. And I think that was probably the good thing with this show, with the way they did it, was there was a buzz around it, and now that buzz is, yeah, it's fizzled out because they're not doing the weekly release. Because if they were on weekly release, we'd only be on like episode 3 by now, and there'd still be like this whole buzz, and I don't think that show could have maintained that. So I definitely feel that this is a much more muted sort of release compared to the most traditional MCU shows, but I didn't think the reaction's really been negative in the slightest. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where the idea that it was a flop. I think the idea of it was a flop before it even released to a lot of people, just because of what it's about and who's in it and everything that's connected to this series. But yeah, the numbers that Disney put out the other day, it was #1. We've not got any data to say how well it's done compared to other ones. We're going to have to wait for Nielsen to see. But yeah, I think it did all right. But do you think that Echo did well or not? I'd love to know your thoughts on this, on the show and stuff. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. Go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Leave us a question for tomorrow, and if it's a good one, I will pick it out and run it. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.